Ooh, it's cold in here. We are in the studio today to do the webinar on 10 things your brokerage needs. Now, if you're starting a brand new brokerage, you need these 10 things. And if you already have a brokerage and you don't have these 10 things, you better get them. So let's get right into it. We're going to move over here to the screen where it says the 10 things you need for your real estate broker. I am Dawn Pfaff. This is Go Home TV. We are with My State MLS, and you know, before you do anything, the very first thing you have to do is incorporate your business. Now, I know that sounds obvious, but some of you might be thinking, I could probably just do it without a corporation. Don't do it without a corporation. Come up with a good name for your business and then call a lawyer, get yourself incorporated. You can also consult with your CPA because your CPA is going to know how to help you get incorporated as well if you don't have an attorney to do that for you. You can also consider, do you want an independent brokerage, or do you want to become part of a franchise, or do you want someone else to do the work for you entirely? So if you want an independent brokerage, you're going to be doing a lot yourself. All of the things that you do, you have to do yourself, like your own branding, your own website. You might not want to do that. You might want a turnkey out-of-the-box solution. It's going to cost you, but you could go with a franchise like Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams, EX. You can go with EXP. They're not a franchise, but you could join something like that before you did your own brokerage. So what you have to decide on is whether or not you want to do it yourself or you want to have it done for you. You can also use, there's this new company out called Side. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but they basically help you get set up out of the box, but with your own branding. So you might want to look into something like that as well. Now, the logistics. You're going to need a broker's license, so hopefully you're watching this and already either have a broker's license or on your way to getting it. You're going to need a business address, a physical location. And the reason you need that is because your state is going to require it. Most states anyway. There is such a thing as a VOW, which is a virtual office website, but I believe your broker's license in most states, at any rate, is going to need a physical location. You are also going to need a federal tax ID number, an EIN it's called, and you're going to need a business phone line. So I'm going to recommend that you look into something called Ring Central or Freedom Voice. Any of these types of services, they'll give you virtual numbers, and then those virtual numbers, you can forward them to your cell phone if you want to. They also have apps that work on your phone. They work with texting. There's another service I've been using called Tossable Digits, which is a really cool service to get a phone number from. So it's a virtual phone number. Look into those choices. You're going to want to get a corporate bank account. You're going to have to get a corporate bank account. And you're probably going to need an escrow account that's separate from your corporate operating bank account. So your escrow account is something where you're going to hold the escrow funds for any deposits that you take. And your regular corporate bank account is where you're going to put your operating money to operate your business. You're going to probably need a shareholder loan. So make sure that you loan the money from yourself to your business. That would be called shareholder loan. That's how you fund the initial business. And then you're going to have to order checks from that bank account as well. Now, branding. This is huge for your brokerage. You're going to need a logo, a website URL. Hopefully that matches the name of your business. Hopefully you picked a business that has a good URL you can use, like www.myrealestateBrokerage.com. I'm sure that's not available, but if it is, let me know. Grab it, hurry up. But you would check on these things through any number of websites where you can register a domain. You can go to GoDaddy.com. I like GoDaddy, I use them. You can use register.com. And there's also this service I've been using called Namecheap. Namecheap is great for cheap domain names. And if you already know what the name of your business is and you go on to Namecheap or GoDaddy and you put it in and it's taken, try to pick something else. Try to find something that isn't taken. You have to make all that work together. You have to make your website, the name of your business, the logo, your branding, all work together. So make sure you do your research on what's available. And also that you're not taking somebody else's name that might be trademarked. So make sure that you're not doing that. And if you want, you can actually register for a trademark for your business. That will protect your trade name. Like a realtor is a protected trade name that the National Association of Realtors has made up. And you're a realtor if you pay realtor dues to the National Association of Realtors. You're also going to need your brokerage account with your MLS. MyStateMLS is the sponsor of this webinar. You can get a broker's account from MyState by contacting MyState directly at office@mystatemls.com and ask, can you get a account for your entire brokerage? And there's different uses of your broker's account where you can manage all your agents, all your offices, and all your listings from your broker account. Okay, now, digital marketing assets. These are really important. You're going to need all of these for your brokerage. You're going to need a Google My Business page. So after you've picked your name, after you've picked your logo, after you've gotten pictures and graphics put together, go on to Google My Business, put it into Google My Business, just like that. Find that site and apply for a Google My Business page. You're going to have to go through the whole process with Google My Business, and you're going to have to verify your address. And how they're going to do that is they're going to mail you a postcard to the address that you put on file. Once they mail you a postcard, you're going to get that postcard, you're going to go to Google My Business and type in the verification code that's on the postcard to verify that your address is accurate. Google My Business does make you have an accurate address. They don't let you just put up some fake address, and they don't let you put up something where you can't get mail. That's how they confirm that you're legitimate. You're going to want to do that with Facebook, make a Facebook business page as well. You may also want to make a Facebook group page for your marketing efforts. And you're going to want to update or create profiles on third-party sites like Zillow and Realtor.com. You probably have agent profiles on those pages now, but you're going to need brokerage profiles. You're going to want to update those, and you're going to want to make sure that your old profiles don't have the name of your old brokerage that you were an agent with. If you're starting your own brokerage out now, what you need to do is go on those sites and update all your content. Now, here's a little trick I'm going to tell you about the third-party sites like Zillow and Realtor.com. You have to use the exact same email address that you use in the MLS. What the MLS does is the MLS sends your listing data to Zillow and Realtor.com and these other sites. These other sites sync up that data by using your email address. Use your business email address that you made when you made a website. Make sure you get an email address with your corporate name. Don't make a Gmail. Don't make a Yahoo, not an AOL. You've got to have a professional business email, especially if it's your own brokerage. You're going to be in control of it, so don't worry about not being able to control that email. But you're definitely going to want to have a professional business email. Very important. Now, you're probably going to need some back office software. It's getting expensive. I didn't say that starting your own brokerage was going to be cheap. Okay, you've got to spend the money. This is an investment. You're opening a business. You have to make that investment in your business. You're going to need back office software, usually a CRM that goes with your website. If you don't have a website and you need a website, you can contact me. I will help you get one set up. I will give you advice on what you need to get that website started. We do have a website package here at My State MLS. We also sell some third-party websites, but we work with a lot of third-party vendors as well. And we can point you in the right direction, whichever one you want to use. But make sure that that website has a CRM built into it. That CRM that you need is going to collect your leads for you. It's going to be able to do drip email marketing for you. It's going to be able to let your customers know that you're a professional, that you're a member of an MLS, and that they can search that entire MLS's database right on your website. And when they want to make an inquiry, that inquiry goes right into your back office CRM that's connected to your website. That's the best way to do it. There are different services out there. You can go to IDX Broker. You could go to iHome Finder. Market Leader has them. All of the different vendors out there, they have good solutions. They can be pricey and some are very affordable. If you need some help, reach out to me. reach out to office@MyStateMLS.com and say, Dawn, I need a website, help me out. And we can do that for you. That virtual phone number that I mentioned, that you could get through Ring Central or Tossable Digits, you're going to want to make sure that you use that phone number across all of your branding, across your websites and across into your CRM, so that that professional phone number is what your customers are going to use to contact you. So you want to make sure that you have a professional phone number. And if you want to do something and you want to work across a broad territory where there's multiple area codes, try an 800 number. That way, it doesn't matter. Your 800 number is going to work no matter what area code somebody's in. They're going to understand, oh, that's a toll-free number, so that's fine. We can do that. And that makes you look bigger, too. You can basically buy leads as well for your business by using sites like RedX or OpCity. Zillow sells leads, Call10, Ojo Labs. There are so many different lead services out there that help you get your business kick-started. Transaction management. Now, many MLSs have transaction management built right into them. My State MLS offers RDocs. Many MLSs offer either something like RDocs, Form Simplicity. There's another one called Transaction Desk by Lone Wolf. So there's a number of transaction management softwares out there. You may want to use the one built into your MLS. So if you're in My State MLS, you would have to opt into digital documents. But that is where you can keep all your transaction management. It costs $15 a month to keep track of all your documents. I mean, super cheap. And it's something that I definitely recommend doing for compliance reasons for your license, because you have to keep all of your documents and be able to supply them if the state licensing bureau ever asks you for those documents. So a really good way to do that is in transaction management software. You also might want to look into a Dropbox or use Google Drive, where you can store documents, digital documents, and get them whenever you need them, either from your phone or a laptop, no matter where you are. So that's something you might want to look into. You can also look into virtual admins. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this, but virtual admins is a great option. And those are people who don't work near you. A lot of times they're in another country, but they can be in this country. You can find virtual admins on a site like Fiverr. That's Fiverr. So I'm going to put some of these links down below, and make sure you hit our subscribe button if you're watching this webinar on a replay on YouTube. And in the YouTube comments, we're going to have all these links for you, because this webinar is going to be edited and then put up on YouTube for you to watch as many times as you want or share with somebody. You're going to need a marketing and advertising strategy. You're going to need a budget, know how much you want to spend on advertising. Are you working with a niche market? Like, do you do vacation homes? Do you want to just sell Airbnbs? Do you do commercial? Do you just want to sell residential resale? Do you want to sell new construction? Are you a rental brokerage? Do you want to do property management? Once you know what your niche is, you can find out the best way to advertise. I like to advertise on Facebook. Facebook is really cheap to advertise on. It's got a great return on investment. And we are doing a webinar coming up soon on how to advertise on Facebook effectively. And that will be a great one for you to watch. So don't forget to look out for that and register for that webinar. You can also reach out to us directly if you want to know how to do it sooner than that webinar comes out. Now, there's a lot of good ways to advertise. Another good way is Google ads, local services ads. They're called Google LSA ads. And you can Google that. I know, said Google a lot right there. Google LSA ads are where on Google, if you put in find a realtor near me, you're going to find a whole bunch of realtors there with their phone number and their reviews. Now, it's very important if you're going to do Google local services ads that all of your reviews are in Google. So when you ask somebody for a review, and yes, you need to ask every person you've ever done a deal for to review you and give you a good review, make sure they do it in Google. If they do it in Zillow or Rate My Agent or Realtor, they're going to be spread out. But if they do it in Google, that's where many people go to find reviews. And you can use the Google reviews. You can put them through to your website, so you can mimic those reviews on your website so that everyone can see them. Now, marketing collateral, signs, business cards, marketing sheets, listing presentations, that's all marketing collateral, and that needs to be branded with your brand. Marketing collateral also can include email marketing. And to do that, you can get an account with Constant Contact or MailChimp or some other mailing service where you can keep in contact with your sphere of influence. You're going to want to upload all of your contacts to these sites so that you can email your customers, email your contacts, and stay in touch with them. You can only use opted-in contacts or people that you regularly contact and they know you're going to be contacting them. Constant Contact and MailChimp are very strict. They do not allow you to spam people. So don't try. They'll cut you off, trust me. Now, you're going to need an MLS membership. I did mention this before. MLS membership like My State MLS. You may also want your local MLS, your smaller local MLS, to be a member of that. You're going to want to join a national board of realtors. If you do, you can do that through your local realtor board. You're going to need lock boxes. You're probably going to want to get in referral groups. And if you need to find out where you can get referral groups or lock boxes, you can, again, reach out to us and ask us. I like Master Lock. A lot of people are using Super boxes or Sentry boxes. But as you move between different MLSs, they use different kinds of lock boxes. Well, if you use a generic master lock, you can get the same benefits, like they have Bluetooth and they can make one-day codes and you can control them through the internet, but you own them. And then no matter what the MLS does, you get to use that lock on any house you want to. So you don't have to worry about, oh, my board just changed from Sentry to Super and now I have to pay another $250 for a key and $250 per box. If you use something like a master lock box, you won't get in that sticky situation of having to change and having to upgrade your box because your MLS said so and then it costs you money. So look into those master lock boxes. They're really good. Now you're gonna have to hire people for your company. I know, so far I have just said a whole lot of stuff that costs a whole lot of money. And that's a great way to think about it. If you don't want to spend all that money, then you might want to stay with your broker, or you might want to go with something that's already set up, like an EXP, like a Keller Williams, like a Coldwell Banker, that kind of thing. But if you're determined to own your own brokerage, to be in your own business with your own brand, then you're probably going to have to hire people. You're probably going to need an admin assistant, an office manager, someone to do transaction coordination for you, remote virtual assistants. You're going to need graphic designers, in-house photographers and videographers, and probably an entire marketing team. If you really want to be big, if you really want good listings, if you want listings that you can get in the millions, you're going to need a marketing team. It's expensive to list those properties. Everyone sees the money you make, but what they don't see is the money you spend. It is not cheap to own and operate your own brokerage. But once you do it, once you make the investment, you use that as a recruiting tool because that's what's next. Now you have to recruit agents for your brokerage, hiring agents. What is your recruiting strategy? And you're going to need some tools to recruit people. You're going to need either a really great split strategy, like 100% with just transaction fee, a 90-10, but we give you a whole bunch of services, or you may want to give more services, but the split is lower. And you're going to have to come up with what that strategy is. Then you're going to need tools. You're going to have to show them that you have an awesome website, that you have a marketing department, that you have an advertising department, that you have a way to generate leads, that you have a beautiful brand that they can then use on their listing appointments to get listings. You're going to need all of those things. So when you're making your entire business plan, and make sure you make a business plan. That was probably the first step, but make sure you make a business plan before you do all this so you know how much money you have to spend and you know how you're going to do it. And you can use these slides, come back and watch this as many times as you want, as part of your business plan, help create your business plan. Make an action item for each one of these slides for how you're going to do it. Now, once you recruit agents, you're going to have to set them up with their own email. So you're going to have to make sure you have an email server. You may want to do that through your domain name, whoever you registered with. GoDaddy has a good email service. They use Microsoft 365. You might just want to use Microsoft 365. Most of your hosts that host your website will also have some way for you to do email. If you need help with that, again, reach out to us at office@MyStateMLS.com and we can help you out with that, point you in the right direction. Now, that's it for how to do it. I'm going to go to questions now. I want to see if there are any questions based on what I said. So let me just see here. Okay. All right. I'm seeing that there is a question. They want to know if they join their local MLS, can they also join My State MLS? Absolutely. In fact, you can join every MLS in the country for wherever you're licensed. You can join every MLS in the state where you're licensed. It's expensive to do that, so you might not want to. If you want to work in a really big territory, but you want to be a member of the local board and a local MLS, then join that local board and local MLS and join My State MLS to be statewide. Or if you're licensed in multiple states, join My State MLS to do multiple state licenses, because you can do that with My State. If you do that with My State, then what you're going to have to do is get you're going to have to get a company that has the same name in all the states. Otherwise, you're going to need more than one My State MLS account. Because when you do a listing, you have to do a listing under your brokerage name. So you can't use the name from Florida in your Georgia company if your Georgia company has a different name. That's why you want to keep the name the same across all the states. All right, so that's just a tip for you. Now, we've had a bunch of other questions coming up in our GoToWebinar screen. What we're doing here, let me just see here. Let me just get some of these questions that we've got. All right, someone's asking me a question on websites and how they get a website made. They have absolutely no idea. They don't know how to hook it up to a CRM. All right, many of you are going to have this exact same question. I mean, how do I build a website? I have no idea. Hire somebody. Call us. We do websites here at My State MLS, but we also have vendors who we recommend who can do something more complicated than some of the solutions we offer. What you want is to figure out what your budget is for that website. When you know what your budget is for that website, you can contact us. We'll point you in the right direction. I recently found a guy who owns a website company where he's selling websites for less than $1,000, and that website is turnkey. I mean, it has video on it. It's got IDX, which is all of the MLS listings on it. It's got CRM. It's got lead gen. It has a way to advertise on Google for a really affordable price. It's got drip email marketing for less than $1,000. And I'm not talking about $1,000 a month. I'm talking about $1,000 one time only with a premium domain. So if you need a website, you've got to contact us. If you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, then what I want you to do is put a comment down below, or just you can message us. You can send us a message, or you can send us a message to our Facebook page at My State MLS or office@MyStateMLS.com. All right, well, I'm going to wrap up this webinar now, but again, any questions, please reach out to us. It was great seeing you here, and we'll see you next time.